Freighters, small ones, really big ones, colorful or muted ones, well decked out and high tier ones, even broken ones you can strip for S tier upgrades and some cool goodies. Today let's take a look at No Man's Sky's freighters with the endurance update and how it has changed a little bit, and how you can get your very own one. Now, as you start a new save, always you get that one first free freighter near the start of the game when you start jumping with the hyperdrive. However, let's say you want something a bit more specific, and that's indeed the aim of today, to provide you with some choice, shall we say. Now, for all of this, you will need to have found the portal and all the glyphs to activate it. So, freighters, just like drug addiction, is not a cheap hobby to have. So you better get that kidney removed and get those credits. First then, let's start with the smaller system freighters. First, we got two yellow spinny boys from the system freighter list. To find these, all you need to do is warp to a system, they are in the same system by the way, go into the space, and then there will be two fleets always warping in. Now, by praying to RNGesus and using a pulse drive to move around in the system, you'll end up spawning different types of fleets. And with these constantly spawning in fleets, you might end up seeing at least one of these types of ships. Sadly though, as you can see in the picture here, the old version before endurance update actually looked quite a bit better. But even so, these yellow ones seem pretty neat. Next then is the Star Trek Enterprise looking orange and green saucer freighter, and like other system freighters, you can find it by just jumping around within the system with a pulse drive. The system freighters for the most part are always C tier, however they can go higher. Now, the cargo capacity however can be expanded on all of them, but unlike the normal ships, the class is unchangeable, at least in the current version of the game. Next then is another system freighter, a black and white colored stubby, simple freighter. Like cargo, upgrades can be also installed on these. It's interesting that you can also recolor your freighters, all of them, but the cost is 5,000 nanites. It's not cheap, so finding one that actually is in the color scheme that you prefer is probably saving you a little bit of the upgrade money already. Then, after traveling and trying to find something interesting to showcase for you, I found this blue and greenish system fighter. Not only its interesting cargo looking thing, but also boasts an A class, so it might be worth picking up. And if you enjoy the color scheme, here I have a greenish with blue coloring, gnarly looking system freighter as well. But let's say you want to force feed Starship Enterprise with some cargo boxes. Well, for that I have a black, yellow and orange combo looking monstrosity right here. Not only that, but it also is an A-class system freighter, so might be worth looking into. However, I mentioned system freighters. Well, you see, there are also capital freighters, which are quite a bit more girthier. Well, you see, there are two types of these massive things in the game, and if you, like most other people on the internet, are wannabe edgelords, the black and red combination with the Star Destroyer shape, capital freighter here is the exact thing you might want to pick up. Though capital freighters are quite a bit different than the system ones, at least in acquisition. Now first you need to get into the system with the coordinates here, then trigger the capital freighter events. However, that does not get triggered with the portal entry into the system. So what you need to do with your ship is to jump out of the system and jump back into it to trigger the events. The capital freighter will be there, but it will be under attack, and before you can actually purchase it, you need to fight off the ships attacking it. So pack something that is not exactly a flaming garbage in space when it comes to combat. And though yes, No Man's Sky's combat is basically a joke, just make sure that you're not flying in a cardboard box. Once the combat's done, the captain will tell you to come aboard and you will be able to purchase the massive thing. This one in particular is a B tier freighter. Now, while these tiers do change how expeditions tend to go, personally I never bothered micromanaging them, and rather simply needed a cargo space and a place to build stuff out, and these capital freighters are best for that. Well, let's say you're absolutely sick and tired of Star Wars, especially after the last movies, and the Star Destroyer looking thing is bringing up some bad memories. Well, then maybe you're a Warhammer 40k fan instead. These, especially some of the longer ones, actually resemble some of those battleships or cruisers, and certainly are my favorites. Now, in order to get any of these capital freighters, also remember that there is a time limit before the game will actually spawn in this event. Yes, unlike system freighters, the capital freighter event, after one completed event, will not let you encounter another event like this again within a certain time limit. Now, I discovered this while trying to stream and film this stuff, and some of the viewers mentioned that it takes 3 whole in-game hours. Fuck me! And also some 5 system jumps or something like that. And the problems did not end there, because after 3 hours, guess what? No capital ship again. As it happened, I had to wait for total 5 hours before a new one started spawning in. And I'm not sure what the fuck is going on with these stupid time-wasting gates, but the lesson is simple. Be this or any of the other capital freighters, you better hunt down a good one, rather than take the first one that comes your way. For example, this one's a B tier as well, and the smallest of the Sentinel ones. So if any of these freighters interest you, go pick them up. But finally, after 9 whole different freighters, you probably are looking for some upgrades on them as well. Well, you can find them in Derelict Freighters after finding them in mid-space. The portal address I'm showcasing leads to a system with such a freighter. Though first you would need to go to a starport, pick up the signal decode thingamajig, activate it and hop into a pulsed drive and let the signal search for it. You'll arrive in a derelict that is void of any hostile creatures, so you don't need to shoot anything. So it's a really simple, quick gathering of all sorts of valuables just running through the whole thing. Along with many of the things, you're gonna find an S tier upgrade for your freighter, as well as a salvage part you can use to unlock a technology. So, what are you waiting for? Go on a good raid, collect all the information and exchange it for tainted metal, and then exchange that on top for some upgrades. This will set you up for some really decent freighter start. So get raiding, what are you waiting for? Build out your sustainable megaship, and of course, in turn, if this helped you out, well, come support my work on Patreon. You seriously have no idea how much time it took to make this video. Oh god, think No Man's Sky is gonna kill me one day. But until then, I'll see you hunting in space for those sweet megaships.